Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to another vlog. And today is a fun one because I've decided to do a fun little reading challenge this week. And that is random number generator chooses the number of pages I read for a week. Yes, random number generator is going to pick the pages I read every day for the next 5 days. And I'm just going to have to read those pages because that's the challenge. So hopefully I don't fail this challenge. I'm starting this vlog on a Sunday and I'm going to continue Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And hopefully I'll be able to read all of those pages that the random number generator tells me I have to read. But I guess we will see. There are a few books that I've been really wanting to read and I'm using this as an excuse to just read those books and get a lot of reading done. And the first one that I've chosen for this video is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. And this is her romantasy debut. So she is the author of the Eden series, which I haven't read yet, but I do have the first 2 books in that series. I will probably read that after I read this. But this is her new release that recently came out, and I am so excited for this. The cover on this is so beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, iridescent. It has sprayed edges. I showed this in my haul already, but I'm obsessed with the detail on this book, and everybody's been reading this book and loving it, so I need to get started. So hopefully I can read a lot of this book today and in this video. This one is about 511 pages long, so we've got quite a few pages to get through, so I'm super excited. So this is going to be our first read. I do have others in mind that I think I want to pick up for this video after I finish this one, but we'll see how much I get through in this week, starting with this one, and then we might do 2 books, maybe 3 books. I simply don't know what the generator is going to choose. So without further ado, let's go ahead and generate our pages for today. Today is Sunday. So I'm going to have the generator choose between 50 and 200. 200 would be a very long reading day for me. I think generally I could read, like if it's a romance, like a quick romance, I could probably read 200 in a day. It is 3:20 p.m. already. So I have the bigger part of the day left. I don't have any plans for today. So getting 200 pages today wouldn't be so bad, to be honest with you, but we will see what we get. Oh, and another rule that I wanted to add to my particular challenge is that whatever number I generate today, those are the number of pages I have to read. But if I read more, that's okay, but that extra does not count towards the following day's reading goal. You know, whatever the number generator chooses tomorrow, I have to read that new number. I'm not going to be counting anything extra that I read today towards tomorrow's goal. However, if I do not make the goal today, then I will try to make up for it in future days. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So here we go. 79. Can you see that? 79. Okay. That's not bad. And that is going to be not that much. Okay, so that's kind of like mid-chapter to chapter 11. So today we're going to be reading 79 pages of Shield of Sparrows. I'm super excited, and I will go ahead and get started and then check in with you guys when I have my first update. Hello, I finished my goal for today. I had to read 79 pages today based on what my random number generator generated, and I read to page 84 or like 83 because I wanted to finish the chapter that I was in. So I'm like this far in right now, which is chapter 11, but now I'm going to take a break and I'm going to make some dinner and then probably read a little bit more because it's only 6:30 p.m. right now, and besides making and eating dinner, I don't really have any other plans. Okay, so I'm going to read some more after that and then see how far I can get, because I was a little bit worried that if I get low numbers this week that I'm not going to be able to finish this book in this vlog, and I really want to finish at least 1 book in this vlog so that we have a vlog of at least 1 book, you know? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep reading probably until I go to bed and then see how far we get and then update you guys again tomorrow morning. But so far, let's talk about what this book is about. So this follows the Princess Odessa. She is a princess of Quentin. Let me get the map so we can discuss exactly where we are. Okay, so according to this map, this is Calandra. Odessa is the princess, one of the princesses of Quentis, and she has a half-sister, May, and May was promised or betrothed to the prince of Tura, because there's such a thing as like the Shield of Sparrows, where every year a bride gets betrothed to one of the other, like, I don't know if these are countries or territories or what they are, but every year one of the princesses from one of the lands gets married to one of the princes of the other lands, and that kind of keeps like trade and stuff like that going, like political stuff. Well, Odessa's father, the king of Quentis, basically hired those warriors to go and kill like these monsters that live in the water. I'm imagining them as looking like mermaids, like really large mermaids, but I don't really know. They're called marrow wheels, and they're basically monsters in the sea. So Odessa's father hired some of the warriors and the prince of Tura to kill some of those monsters, and then they are coming to Quentin to meet with them to get paid for basically killing those monsters. But what they learn is that instead of killing 6 of those monsters like they told them, they actually killed 7, which then invokes this Treaty of 7, where basically whoever kills 7 of those monsters gets to pick a bride prize, okay? But even though the Prince of Tura was already betrothed to May, he now gets to choose a bride for his bride prize, and so he decides to pick Odessa. So then those brides who get married off to the other lands, they're also called the Sparrows. So May was supposed to be the sparrow, but the Prince of Tura decided he doesn't want May, he wants Odessa, and now Odessa is going to be the sparrow, and now she's going to be the queen of Tura. So the Prince of Tura, he's Prince Xavier, that's his name, and there's also another character in the mix, and that's the Guardian. And I think that the Guardian is like his general or something like that. He's got magical powers. He's like this interesting dude that's around the prince all the time, but I don't really know what his role is yet. So far it's been a lot of world building and like setting up of the story, and a lot of the politics have been discussed, but I don't really understand his role yet, so I'm sure that's going to be developed. So he's taken Odessa as his bride prize and as the new sparrow, and now they're journeying back to Tura on this ship. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. So far I like all of the characters. The world building is kind of a lot right now, but thinking about it, it's not really like that much. It's the first like 80 pages, and basically everything about like the societies is kind of thrown in there, but it's still pretty straightforward nonetheless. So you just have to pay attention while you read, and it shouldn't be like too difficult. But I do also really like the writing. The writing is pretty straightforward, and I feel like Devney Perry is kind of infusing a little bit of humor, especially into Odessa's thoughts and like some of the things that she says. So I think I'm going to really enjoy that once the story progresses a little bit further. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm really intrigued. I really like the story. I like the writing, and there's really good dialogue so far as well. So even though I made my goal for today, I think I'm just going to keep reading because this is a very long book and I want to be able to finish it in this video, and I have time tonight. So I kind of expected to get like 200 pages or like, I don't know, 150 or something, but I didn't. So we're just going to do what we can do. So that's it for now. I'm going to go make some dinner, and then I'm going to keep reading after I'm done with that. Hi, it's Monday now. Welcome back to the challenge. So we're on day 2 of random. Oh, I need my phone. Hello. Hello. How am I going to random number generate if I don't have my phone? Welcome back. It's Monday now, and we are starting day 2 of this challenge, and we are going to generate a new number to see how many pages we have to read today. So just real quick, I'm reading Shield of Sparrows, and yesterday the random number generator generated 79 pages for me to read, and I did say I was going to read more because I had time to read yesterday. It was Sunday, I had nothing to do. So I did end up reading a little bit more, and I ended up reading 167 total pages, which is 88 pages more. So that's excellent. Good for me. I am this far into the book right now, so maybe a quarter of the way in. And so far, you guys, I really, really, really love this book. This is such an adventure romance. They're on so many different journeys. If you like adventure, if you like journeys in fantasy, this is it. This is such a good book for that. So far, they've been on like 2 adventures. So obviously, you know from my last update that Odessa, the main character, is the bride prize for the prince of like this other land. And now they are journeying journeying to his land. So they were on a ship for a while. That was really giving Pirates of the Caribbean for some reason to me. Now they're like on land journeying via horseback and staying in tents and stuff. So that's really giving Game of Thrones and like Khaleesi and that whole situation with the Dothraki. And I'm just so obsessed with it. Right now they have just gotten to a city named Trio, and that is literally this city that's on the end paper right here, where there's like all these little tree houses and everybody's living in tree houses. And I don't know why, but I am just so obsessed with the tree houses. Like, I want to be living in this city. I want to be living in a tree house. Like, look at that. I don't know if you could see, but they're like kind of like hidden into the trees, but there's like so many little tree houses, and they all have like bridges and ladders, and they're in the forest, and it's just so magical. I'm literally so obsessed with it. I want to be living in this city. If anybody knows of a treehouse city, please let me know so I can move there. On to the characters. So the guys, the Prince and the Guardian, still not too much from them. This is single POV, FYI. It's just from Odessa's POV, and still not too much from them. They're still kind of a mystery. We don't really know what's up with them. Prince Xavier is kind of like more reserved. He doesn't really talk to anybody except to her sometimes, but he still doesn't like share information with her very much. So she's still kept in the dark, but she is being so brave throughout everything, and she's really trying to hold her own, but she's still on shaky legs. I see such growth potential in her, and I'm super excited for that because it's so good. The writing is excellent. It's really action-packed. It's fast-paced. There's humor in it. It's not overcomplicated, but it's also not super simple either. I think it's very well balanced and well paced so far, and it's very different from other fantasies that I've read. Like, it's just in the setting and in the characters, it feels very different than other fantasies I've read. So I am just really enjoying this. It's kind of reading like a 5-star right now, but I know it's early and I don't want to like hold the book to that in case like, you know, things change. But yeah, I'm having such a great time with this. So let's give the random number generator another spin to see how many pages we have to read today. Again, we're going from 50 to 281. Okay. Very close to what we had yesterday, so that should be totally doable. Again, same situation. If I ended up reading the 81 pages and I want to read more, I'm just going to read more so that we can get through this book faster, because I'm really loving this book, so why wouldn't I? Nonetheless, we have to read at least 81 pages today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I will keep you guys updated. Guys, oh my God, I have chills. The most intense scene just happened in the last chapter that I read. I literally have chills. This world, though, in this book is so awesome. I love this world. I love all the different cities. I love every location that she's ever been to. And the one that she's at right now, where the crazy scene happened, that one feels a little bit deserty to me. I think they did describe it that way. It's kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. It's not surrounded by trees. It doesn't have any mountains. There's no lakes, no rivers, and nothing like that. But it feels like you would see kind of like maybe a Mars planet, but deserty, or like Mad Max or something like that. Like, these scenes are set so incredible. I could imagine this being a movie, honestly. Like, this would make an incredible movie. So I'm on page 253 now. So I read what I needed to read. So I got a good chunk done. I'm this far in the book now. Like I said, I really love this world. I love the scenes. It doesn't really like slow down either. There was like a couple of pages where she's at the treehouse, not really much is going on, but it's still not boring in any way whatsoever. I'm still really captivated by this book. So there really aren't any like lulls and like slow parts yet. And we're like halfway through. So that's a really good sign. I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to keep reading because it's not even late today. It's 5:41 p.m. right now. So I'm just going to keep reading and see how far we get today. But we have completed our goal for the second day in a row, which I'm really happy about. And then I will check in with you guys if I have another update today. Otherwise, we'll check in tomorrow and see how far we got. Hello and welcome to day 3 of this challenge. Today is Tuesday and we need to choose how many pages we're going to be reading today. But first, let's go over how much I read yesterday. So last check-in, I think I was like around chapter 30-ish something. I don't remember. But I did end up reading a little bit more later in the day and I got to chapter 39, which is page 326. So my page number for yesterday was 81. I ended up reading 158 pages, which is 77 more pages than I needed to read. And now we are at a total of 325 pages read for this week in this challenge, which is awesome. Today, I'm hoping for a really high number because I only have like a third of this book left and I'm really hoping for like a 200 because I want to finish this book and maybe start another one that we can fit into this video. So that would be really great if I could get 200 pages to read today. I will say though that this is kind of realistic of like what my regular reading looks like. I do generally read between like 100 to 200 pages a day if I'm not in a reading slump. If I'm in a reading slump and I just don't feel like picking up a book, there are days where I read nothing for like a week straight, and that has been, you know, the case this year, and that part really sucks. But when I'm like flowing, I'm enjoying the book, I'm like not in a reading slump, I will generally read about 100 pages, maybe 200 pages tops if it's like a fast moving book or something. So I would say that this is kind of realistic. On Sunday, I ended up reading 167 pages. On Monday, I read 158 pages. So I would say that's pretty on par for me. I'm still really, really enjoying this book. I love the Guardian. He is so badass, honestly. There was a twist in here yesterday that I definitely wasn't expecting that kind of explains like what's going on in the background, and I literally never would have guessed that this is the case, but it's very interesting. It's definitely gripping. It's definitely still fast-paced. A lot is going on. There isn't quite as much romance as I would like, but I think it's starting to kind of like come about. They still very much dislike each other, but there are moments like you're starting to get a little bit of like momentary snippets of kindness and something that could potentially be like a feeling between the two of them, and I think it's awesome. Honestly, like I'm surprised that I like this so much because normally without having like too much romance in a book, I lose interest, but this one is totally keeping me interested. I am not losing interest or steam in this book at all whatsoever. I'm just really, really loving it, and like the fact that they are still like disliking each other to this point has to be commended. I think the author did an amazing job with that, and not doing like feelings and a lot of romance and all that stuff right up front is actually making this book flow really well too, and making it about everything else in a very, very good way. So I'm just having a great time. I'm really excited to keep reading this. I have the rest of the day to read today. So let's see how many pages we have to read. Pull out my trusty little random number generator. And again, we're choosing between 50 and 200. Let's hope for a 200. Where's the screen? There it is. Okay, ready? Go. 175. Okay. We got our first high number. We have 175. That is the number of pages we have to read today. Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. So since I'm on page 326, I read 175 pages. That'll put me at 501. This book is actually 511 pages long, so I think I'm just gonna finish it. So we are finishing this book today. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that and check in with you when I have another update. Oh my God. I just finished chapter 44. That was really crazy. I was not expecting that, although I think maybe I should have, because I think I may have had like a thought about that being a possibility for like a split second at the beginning of the book. But I dismissed it and never thought anything of it before. But I'm like shocked right now in a good way. At first I was like, wait a minute. But then it gets explained, and then it's definitely in a good way. Yeah, just wanted to let you know that I'm shocked. I'm literally floored. We've had 2 major twists in this book so far. One of them I probably should have seen coming. The other one I definitely didn't. I would have never guessed. Yeah, so just wanted to let you guys know that I am shocked right now, and I'm on chapter 45. So I'm going to keep reading. Good morning. It is Wednesday. Welcome to day 4 of this challenge of the random number generator chooses the number of pages I read in a week. So as you saw last night, I finished Shield of Sparrows, and this, I really loved it. I really loved it. This is going to go down as one of my favorite fantasy of the year. I had such a great time with this book. I loved the world. I loved everything about this. In that last part of the book, so many things are uncovered. There's drama, there's betrayal, there is battle, there's just like so much stuff going on that it like felt almost a little bit like a different kind of book. The first 2/3 of this book almost felt kind of like a journey fantasy. So if you like journey and quest and stuff like that, like that's what the first 2/3 of this book felt like. And then the last third of the book felt more like a high stakes fantasy. So it just like gave everything. I feel like it was really fast paced, really interesting, kept you like flipping the pages the entire time, even though it's like a long fantasy. It wasn't overly complicated, but still complex enough to make you feel like you're reading a fantasy, which I love, but you're not like super confused about what's going on. I don't like overly complicated fantasies. I don't want to feel like I'm reading a textbook, like I have to learn a new subject or something like that, you know? So I think this was really well balanced, really excellent pacing, and it's just so fun, and I loved it. I loved the romance in it. It came full circle at the end, and I just really loved it. I wouldn't really say this ended on a cliffhanger because there's nothing that I need to know, like nothing that I need to have like explained, but it definitely ended in a very clear way that it is a continuation and that there is going to be a second book. And also some good news that Alexa actually shared with me. You know how I said that I thought that this would make an excellent movie because of like the setting and everything like that? Well, apparently Alexa tells me that there might be a movie, that there's something in the works for that. So that's really exciting because I would love to see this movie. Like honestly, I would love to see this in a movie. So in case you can't tell by now, this is a definite 5 stars. I loved it, and it's definitely going to go down as one of my favorite fantasy reads of the year. So let's talk about the numbers for the week. So yesterday, the random number generator gave me 175 pages to read. I just ended up finishing this book, which was 186 pages, which was just over by 11 pages. And that puts us at a total read of 511 pages for this week so far. So now it's time to choose our next read and find out how many pages we have to read today. So let me pull up the random number generator again. 50 to 200 is the goal. So let's see what we got to do. 76. Not bad. We have to read 76 pages. And our next read, actually, I had a little delivery from Barnes, so we're going to do this one and we're going to open it up together because I know you guys love unboxing so much. But yes, we're going to open this one. I know what it is, but you guys don't. So there we go. We have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I really like Ashley Poston. I loved her Dead Romantics. I loved The 7-Year Slip. A Novel Love Story fell kind of short for me. Like I just couldn't get into that one for some reason, but I have really high expectations for this one. I have high hopes for this one because she just has the most amazing ideas for her books, and like I love the magical realism. I love her characters usually, and she just does such a great job with her books. So this one apparently is about a songwriter and this guy, and they have like a telepathic connection between the two of them, and I guess that results in her being able to hear music in her mind, and it sounds like the melody melody and like the music is actually coming from him, and they have like this telepathic connection or something. So that sounds super interesting. I love things with telepathy and like telepathic connections. That's one of my favorite things. So I'm very excited about this one. This is the one we're picking up next, and we have to read 76 pages of this today. This is 357 pages. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this book. If I read the 76 today, we might just fall a little bit short, but I'm going to try to get a lot of reading done. This is obviously a romance, so I'm going to go through this much faster. I feel like I will definitely try to make my goal today. I don't really foresee anything happening where I might not be able to make the goal. Tomorrow might be different though, so I might read more again because, you know, that's just what I do. And hopefully I will be able to finish this book in this vlog so I can give you guys a final review. But we got 2 days to go, so that shouldn't be a problem, but we'll see. So I'm going to get started now, and I'm going to check in with you guys when I have my first update on this book. Okay, things just got interesting. So I am on page 77, chapter 10. So I finished my pages for today. I read 76 pages and I'm this far into the book. So not super far, but literally things just got interesting. So essentially what's going on in this book is the main character, Joni Lark, is a songwriter, and she moved to LA to pursue her dream of being this songwriter. And she has like a history in music because her mom used to be a singer with this band, and her parents owned this like music venue named the Revelry. So she just has like a lot of nostalgia when it comes to music, and then she wanted to be the songwriter, moved to LA to pursue her dream. But then she learned that her mom is in the early stages of dementia, and ever since she learned that, she has not been able to have the inspiration to write music anymore. So she's in a songwriting slump, per se. So while she's still in LA, she goes to a concert, and backstage she runs into this famous musician, Sebastian Fall, and while they were backstage, they got caught on the kiss cam and had to basically make out for a little bit. But then shortly thereafter, she goes back to South Carolina to go and spend the summer with her family, and a strange thing happens to her where she starts hearing music in her mind, and then suddenly she's hearing somebody's voice, like a man's voice in her mind, and they're talking to each other, and they don't understand the connection and why they have this telepathic connection between the two of them. So that's where we are right now. I like it so far. I was a little bit bored at the very beginning because it was like a little bit too descriptive for me, but Ashley Poston's writing is like that. She does have a lot more descriptiveness to her writing than a lot of other authors, but that's okay because it's not like excessive or anything. It's definitely easily readable, easily digestible, and it doesn't really slow down the story. It's just not quite as fast-paced as like some other books I've read. So that's where we are in the story right now. I think I'm going to take a break and then maybe perhaps read a little bit more before bed. But yeah, just wanted to check in with you guys to let you know that I did my reading for the day, and I will probably check in with you tomorrow for our final day of the challenge. Good morning, it's Thursday, and welcome to the 5th and final day of this challenge. And we are currently reading this book, in case you forgot, Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. And I believe the last check-in you saw was what I read when I got to page 76, which was what my random number generator generated yesterday for me to read, and I didn't read anything past that. So I only read the 76 pages I was supposed to read. So we are still on track, but we didn't overachieve yesterday either. So far the total number of pages read this week was 587. I think we're doing pretty good, and I still have quite a large chunk of this book left, so I'm hoping for a large number today to just kind of like force me to finish this book today so I can give you guys a final review, because that would be wonderful. But if I don't, that's unfortunately not part of the challenge, and I can't make any promises, you guys, you know? Like, I will do my best. So let's go ahead and do the random number generator for today and see how many pages we have to read, and we'll keep reading this book. Alrighty. Okay. Ready? What is it? 83. So we have to read 83 pages today. Not terrible. So that would put me at page 159, which is about this far in the book. And if we finished the chapter, we'd be on chapter 21. So we will see how today goes. Hopefully I will be able to get my reading done for today and at least finish this challenge successfully, but I will maybe potentially do my best to actually finish this book and do a final review. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on reading and check in with you guys when I have another update. So they're about to meet now, and I think it's so cute. Also, there was a really cute little cameo of Lemon from 7 Year Slip, and they've been having their little conversation in their heads and like trying to figure out like what's going on, but they decided that they need to meet in person to figure it out, that would help them, and he flew out to South Carolina to see her, and they're literally about to meet right now. It's definitely hitting more today with like the writing and the descriptiveness. I think yesterday I was just a little bit tired and like I just kind of wanted it to get to the point a little bit, but I mean I still had a pretty good time reading the first beginning part of it, but I think I was just like a bit tired, and I feel like your mood and like your energy level when reading really does play a huge role in like how you feel about a book and how you like it. For me specifically, like that plays a pretty big part. So like usually if I'm tired, I want a fast-paced book, whereas today I'm not tired, so I could sit here all day and read descriptive, lyrical, all of that. I could sit here all day and read that because, you know, I have the energy for it. So just wanted to say that. But yeah, I really like it so far. I'm on page 128, which is chapter 17. So I haven't read quite my assigned reading for the day yet, but I will definitely be able to do that. That's it. Just wanted to mention the Lemon cameo and the fact that it's really cute right now, and it's like getting cute. So I forgot to check in when I finished my assigned reading for the day, which was supposed to be chapter 21, I think. Somewhere around chapter 21. I think I said it was supposed to be page 150 something because I had 83 pages to read today. Well, I did. I'm currently on chapter 31, which is page 254, and I only have this much left to go. So I think I will finish this for you guys today. Didn't check in because not too much has been going on in the plot. It kind of didn't go in the direction I was hoping for. It just kind of lulled a little bit, and they kind of like became too friendly, like on the friendship side of things versus like the romantic side of things. And I would have liked it to be a little bit more focused on them having a romance together, because obviously they have the best connection any kind of partnership could ever possibly have, and they're just not taking advantage of that, you know? So yeah, so they kind of became friends, and it's fine. I mean, that's probably the safe thing to do, but is it disappointing for a reader? A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing for the reader. Myself specifically. I can only speak for myself. They're kind of like dealing with their family stuff right now, and they have been for like the last, I don't know, 10 chapters or something. Because, you know, her mom has dementia and she's going through a lot, and then she's kind of not liking the way that her parents are handling the situation. And honestly, I feel like she's being a little bit petulant when it comes to that, because they want to close the music venue that they own because they want to kind of like focus on their life, like what they have left of their life together, you know, like the mom specifically, because the time will come where she's starts forgetting everything. So I personally completely agree with their decision and what they want to do, but she's got like complicated feelings about it because she doesn't want to lose the music venue because of all her memories. I feel like I know where the plot is going to go when it comes to that, but I just feel like she's being maybe a little selfish and kind of a lot petulant. So that is not my favorite trait about this main character. The guy also has some family stuff that he's dealing with. To be honest with you, I'm not like super interested in that. But you know, it adds to the story because he's got his past. I just feel like it's kind of dragging a little bit when it comes to all that, and I just want it to get to like the romance part. Like that's really all I'm waiting for. Like when they finally met each other for the first time, I thought it was gonna go in a different direction. That there would be some obstacles, obviously, but then they would actually like realize that they want to be romantic together, but it's not really happening. They are still working on that song together, and that's nice, but it's lacking romance. And I feel like this also could be a little bit of a missed opportunity because they are in their heads. I feel like she could write really good tension here. Not just sexual tension, but like attraction tension and yearning and pining and stuff like that, which she's not including in here. And I would really, really love to see that in this kind of situation. I think that would be an amazing book, but this book does not have that, unfortunately. And I feel like that's a major missed opportunity, honestly. So that's where I'm at. It's kind of reading like a 3.5 star at this point. If there was more romance, more tension, more yearning, and it's just such a perfect setting for that. There somehow, which by the way, it has not been explained yet, how they got in their heads. It's just like a magical element to it that's not been explained yet. Maybe it will towards the end, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's giving a little bit of like Edward Cullen, am I right? So I just feel like it's such a missed opportunity. But yeah, it's reading like a 3.5 star right now. Hopefully the romance picks up. I'm gonna keep reading, but I should be able to finish this today and give you guys my final thoughts. Alrighty, switching up the angles for you guys so you have a nice view of the pretty picture that I had on the TV all day while I was reading. So I did finish this book and it definitely picked up. Like when I checked in last, I was like, okay, well, the romance didn't really happen the way that I had wanted it to happen because they were in like such a solid friendship leading up to it. And then it all just kind of like went to the next level immediately, you know, like it was still missing all those feelings leading up to it, you know what I mean? And the focus was on like their families and the family stuff that's going on, which was sad. I did feel myself tearing up at certain moments in this book for sure, but I just feel like it was missing a little bit on the romance front for me, and I still think it was a little bit of a missed opportunity by Ashley Poston because they were so in each other's heads and they could hear each other's thoughts, and I just thought that would have been a really great opportunity for some yearning and some pining, you know, like Edward Cullen style. But overall, it was a relatively fast read. I liked the story, I really liked the concept, and I had a pretty good time. So I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars just because I kind of hoped for more when it came on the romance front, but overall still recommend it. So that concludes our 5-day reading challenge of the random number generator chooses the number of pages I read in a day. Today's reading goal was 83 pages. I ended up reading a total of 281 pages, which is a surplus of 198 for a total read this week for this video of 868 pages. And that was both of these books, Shield of Sparrows and Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Just a really quick recap on Shield of Sparrows. This one I absolutely loved. This will definitely go down as one of my top favorite fantasy reads of this year, and this was a 5-star. And then you just heard my thoughts on Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, and this one is a 4-star. I'm so glad I did this challenge. I had a really great time. I love having like a goal, especially like a reading goal for a day, and seeing if I could do it, seeing if I could make it. It would definitely be more challenging though, I would say, if I had more things to do this week, but I did have a relatively slow week in terms of activities this week, and I wanted to make sure that I gave myself like the best chance of succeeding doing this video for the first time. But I can say that it was so fun, and I will definitely be doing this video again in the future. I had a great time. Let me know your thoughts below if you do like this kind of challenge, and if you have any ideas for like similar videos like this that you would like to see in future videos, let me know. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed. As always, all my links are down below to my Instagram, Goodreads, and TikTok. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.